Hello, thanks for tuning in to a mental break. On this channel, we take viral stories and we break them down to the lowest common denominator. So we take it and we look at it and make sense of it because people look at this stuff and they don't break it down and make sense. So let's dig into a couple stories that's been trending and let's break it down. We're going to jump right in. We're going to start with this Reesa Tessa girl. Now let's get real here. Let's pull up. Um, I don't know about y'all, but her story to me wasn't that shocking. I don't. I've heard worse. I'm sorry, I've heard worse. I've heard worse out of the hood. I'm sorry. I'm telling the truth here. I'm not saying that what she didn't have her own traumatic experience, but like she said, she was desperate. And how many women, how many of us, and any women that are listening, we've all had a guy in our life that has lied to us or got over or we got bamboozled or whatever or we got felt stupid or whatever the case may be. There's always one guy. We all have one. Her story to me is not this shocking, oh my god, this is crazy type of stuff. He was a big ass liar. What it was, you didn't ask no damn questions. So because you didn't ask no questions, you didn't want to know nothing. You just wanted a husband and somebody to come pay your bills, which is nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with a woman wanting a husband and a man to come in and be a man to provide and protect. But honey, you got to ask some damn questions. Because if you don't ask no questions and find out what's going on, you're not going to have the man paying the bills and the marriage. Because of the fact, look what happened. You weren't even together a year. And look at the hell you went through. You had a miscarriage, had to wind up having a DNC, going through all this stuff. And for what? All because you didn't want to know shit? Child, please, you got to pull it together. Now she's monetizing off of her pain, and I ain't mad at her because if I could monetize off of my pain, damn it, I would too. I'm thinking about running over to TikTok and telling one of my damn stories. Shit, I got some stories too. Shit. Now if I can monetize, I'm gonna go over there too and make me 145 TikToks to get me a damn deal. Shit, she ain't saying nothing no damn special. And another thing I don't like how is people out here on social media saying because of the way she look, that happened to her because of the way she looked. No, it happens no matter what you look like. I don't know why people think because she looked, there's nothing wrong with the way that she looks. I don't care. That has nothing to do with the situation. That has nothing to do with it whatsoever. What it has to do with is that the woman did not pay attention to anything. She didn't pay attention to red flags because y'all men out here be lying and trying to get over and all that kind of stuff on women. We all know that's how it's done. And I'm sure I'm going to get some comments. Oh, women do stuff too for men. I know, whatever. We're going to move on. The bottom line is, Reesa, congratulations on making your money off of your series. But it's a cautionary tale for the rest of you women. Pay attention to the red flags and ask some damn questions because none of that would have happened if she did. Plain and simple. It ain't that hard to figure out. It's not rocket science, and we don't need to be talking about this girl forever. You got your check, baby. Go get that BMW you wanted. That's what you need to do. I hope you got enough money to get that BMW you wanted and that house you wanted. You wanted that stuff, baby. I hope you got it. Now let's move on to Diddy and his crazy ass and this next lawsuit. Okay, now we're gonna talk about this next damn lawsuit. First of all, the men wasn't talking too much about Cassie, but now that we're talking about a man, and here come the men. Oh Lord. Now, next, I'm thinking, now we're gonna break this down because this channel is called a mental break. So let's break this down mentally. Um, this man was with Diddy for a year. All right. Now I'm not saying this man doesn't have any valid complaints, but what it sounds like to me is buyer's remorse. Because I've been listening to this. You've been living with Diddy for a year and you was working on this album. During this time, you were filming, recording, producing, you're on yachts, you're here, you're there. This been going on for a year. Now, you claim that Diddy was inappropriate, walking the first time he was walking around naked. The next time it was this, next time it was that. Now, I understand that you said you felt afraid because he was talking about guns. He was talking about the whole thing with the other thing that happened back in 99. I get that you may have some fear because every man is not at the top of their masculinity. So I get that part. But what I'm having difficulty understanding is that when the first incident came up, why didn't you quit then and walk away? This is what I'm having difficulty understanding. Because if you're so appalled and if you're so upset behind what was going on, why were you there for a whole year enduring all of this stuff? Now we can't compare you to Cassie because it's a vastly different. Number one, Cassie was 19 at the time and she was brought in by somebody else. She did not sign on to work with Diddy. She was bought to Diddy. You, on the other hand, and also Cassie came to him over 10 years ago when everybody didn't know about Diddy and the way he act. Here we are. You came on board with this man back in 2022, I believe it was. I could be wrong for the album, either 21 and then you were there in 22 and the album was released in 23. However it goes. The point I'm making is everybody know about Diddy at this point. So you mean to tell me that Diddy reached out to you about doing an album and you did not turn it down, knowing how Diddy is? Because everybody knows how Diddy is now. You can't sit. This man cannot tell me you're a producer in the business, a producer, and you mean to tell me you never heard how Diddy get down? You never heard. I find that very hard to believe. In the words of Cat Williams, you gotta tell him no. And that's something you ain't do. I don't know what you thought. Maybe in theory, you thought you could go work for him and you could get what you want, but it don't work that way with somebody like him. Now, what I'm hearing, and I could be wrong, but I heard this man say, because I watched all of it. I watched that man live, and he said Diddy was trying to take his publishing and the rights to his music. So when he said that, that led me to believe that this is retaliation more so than you really want to go after him. Because according to you, it was underage girls, it was people being drunk. So why wasn't all this said before? This is what I'm missing. I'm missing all of that. Why wasn't any of this said before? But then you come out and you say he trying to take your, producers credits and all this. Oh, so now that he's trying to do this to you, now you want to say something because you were supposed to get paid. I think he said Diddy's supposed to pay him $50,000 and he was supposed to do this. So I said, oh, I see now. So I'm like, is anybody catching this or is it just me? Because there is no way that you would sign on with Diddy for a year and you know how Diddy is. And I'm sure Diddy told you you're gonna be traveling with him or whatever, because you know he's crazy, he wanna go all over the place. So why I'm having a hard time, a very, 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 very hard time wrapping my head around the fact that you would work with Diddy and not think that there weren't going to be some issues. So why would you? So that's why I said that's what makes this all look suspicious. I'm not saying that Diddy's not guilty. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that what are your motives, Rod, or whatever the hell your name is, or bringing this to light when you had all this stuff and all this footage all this time and you said nothing? But as soon as you can't get your money or your producer credits, now you want to produce everything. Because that's what it sounds like to me. Because there is no way, and I'm a female, and I'm going to tell you something. If I went on a job, say I got hired at a job, and I get there, and they tell me, oh, you got to travel with this job. I'm like, well, let me check with my job and my family, and I'll get back to you or whatever. Once I clear that I can do it, then I would want more information. What does the job entail? What am I going to be doing? Where are we going? Where are we staying? You're going to want more information. That's what you're going to want. And you know how did he get down? So I don't understand. I'm just losing it here. on how this man think that, he was so violated. And I'm not saying it was probably some things he didn't want to do at different times. I get that. But I just find it hard to believe. This sounds like buyer's remorse to me. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't, all this with a Cuba Gooding Jr. and all that. Yeah, all those things probably did happen. And again, you agreed to work with him. You agreed to it. When you saw the underage girls, why weren't you out then? All this illegal activity. And I don't want to hear that you feared for your life. I don't want to hear that because he had the opportunity to leave in the very beginning. In the very beginning, he could have said, you know what? This is too much. I'm out of here. But you stayed because you wanted the money, you wanted the project. And if I'm not mistaken, oh yeah, just remember this. He said something to him about getting a Grammy nomination. He says something to him about that. Did y'all make sure you get a Grammy? Remember, Diddy's on the Grammy board. Remember, guys, Diddy is on the Grammy board. And he says something about he made sure he'll get a Grammy. I heard him say something about that too. So that's why I said this little lawsuit that's coming out now with Diddy, Diddy, Diddy's wrong. Don't get me wrong here. Ain't nothing right about it. But this guy got way more motives than what he's not some innocent victim. But again, I ain't mad at him because Diddy did a lot of dirt to a lot of people. So I guess he got to get a taste of his own medicine. But the point I'm making is don't come here acting like you're some huge victim. Just say you want your damn money. And that's just it. You ain't no huge victim. Oh, I was drugged. I was this. I was that. You might have been drugged a couple times, but you was there for it. Why did you drink? If you know how Diddy get down, why did you drink? I wouldn't have drank. I'm like, I don't get it. All right, I'm coming off of this video because I can't take it no more. I'll be back with another mental break video, and I'll see what else is going on out here, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, have a good one. Bye.